In today's climate, nothing will make you a more accurate or confident shooter than Crimson Trace laser sighting systems. Get the immediate, decisive advantage of the world's only grip-integrated laser sights today. Shoot better. Stay safer. Crimson Trace.
Welcome back to another hour of Tom Gresham's Gun Talk. Now broadcasting on over 200 great radio stations across America. The number one national voice in defense of your Second Amendment rights. To be on the air with Tom, call us now. 866-825-5486 or 1-TOM-TALK-GUN. Now, here's Tom Gresham.
Hey, welcome back to Gun Talk. Tom Gresham here. If you'd like to join us on the air, all you have to do is call us 866-TALK-GUN or just dial 1-TOM-TALK-GUN. You can shoot me an email, tom@guntalk.com. And, of course, on Twitter, I'm at Gun Talk. And you can follow us on Facebook, where we have a page there, of course. Just look for Gun Talk or Gun Talk Media. Lots and lots of ways to get in touch with us. And, of course, don't forget to download GunDealio, our smartphone app. It's free, available for Android and for iPhone, and you can listen to Gun Talk wherever you go. You can actually look at our videos. But best of all, with GunDealio, you'll save lots and lots of money buying guns, ammo, optics, all sorts of stuff. It's called GunDealio, and wherever you get your smartphone apps. All right, as you know, I encourage everybody to join pretty much every group that you can, any kind of gun rights group that's out there, whether it's a state or a national group. We, frankly, need all of us working together all the time on this. And joining me right now is one of the groups that probably does, I would say, probably the best job I know of anybody of rallying the troops and getting the word out. It's the Gun Owners of America. Larry Pratt joins us right now. Hey, Larry, how are you?
Tom, thanks so much. Good to be with you.
Absolutely. Now, I saw a story recently that you guys put out, and I got to tell you, it kind of caught me by surprise. I had not been watching this one. Something about the ATF and the FBI merging. What is that about?
It's something that periodically pops up. It's, I guess, something, a desire within the bureaucracy to aggrandize bureaucrat power. It's not something that we've been favorably disposed toward. It was billed as an effort to get rid of the ATF in my dreams.
You're right.
All it is moving it over to make it an office, a department within the Department of Justice, the FBI. It would be harder, in our opinion, to hold the ATF accountable. Not that they're held that much to account, but it would be even harder because they would be part of a larger entity. And even though Waco should have tarnished forever the FBI's reputation, I think they probably have a somewhat more favorable impression among people than does the ATF. And I think that may be part of the desire to move the ATF over there, one of optics.
In a way, what you're talking about is maybe giving the ATF some political cover by wrapping them up in this aura of legitimacy that comes with being associated or being part of the FBI.
I think that puts it exactly the way we see it possibly ending up. And we just don't think that's a good idea. The ATF needs to be done away with lock, stock, and barrel. It's unconstitutional. It's killed lots of people. It's not accountable even as a separate entity, let alone if it were to be merged in a larger one. The good that they do is only measurable in terms of actually catching real bad guys, apart really from gun crime. So if what we need is more money for police departments, let's leave the money at the state level so the states can beef up the state and local police expenditures. But for goodness sakes, let's stop bringing money to Washington, concentrating power in Washington, where there's no constitutional authority for police powers here other than maybe a Secret Service police power over monetary fraud, postal fraud. That is in the Constitution. But otherwise, let's get the big eraser out and get to work.
Well, a lot of people probably are not really aware of the history. Of course, we've been around this a long time. We remember when ATF was part of Treasury, and it was essentially created to help, if you will, acquire taxes or make sure that taxes get paid.
And there still is a tax division within the ATF that collects taxes on firearms and so forth. So, yeah, you got it right.
But that got changed, and now it is part of the Justice Department. Who is pushing this possible merger, and is it really happening? I mean, is there like discussion in Congress?
Hopefully, it's only a bad idea surfacing periodically without a whole lot of oomph behind it. But I can remember when the Democrats controlled the Congress, this was also a matter that was before the Congress, and there are forces within the government itself that are going to resist it. So it's not exactly as if it were a slam dunk. But I think it gives us the opportunity to do what we're doing now and to remind people that this is a rogue agency, that this has killed a lot of people, that it does things it's not supposed to do. It regularly and often breaks the law. It conceals evidence. It tampers with evidence. They belong in jail.
We actually have them on tape telling their agents how to lie in court when they're testifying.
We do. It was
right?
a training seminar.
All right. So, and I know there are people who are going to say, well, certainly there must be some good ATF agents out there, and they must be doing some good.
Absolutely. It's just that they shouldn't be working in the ATF. They should be working in a real law enforcement entity like the XYZ State Police Agency.
What is, in your view, what is the actual role or goal? How does the ATF see itself?
I guess if you had to get them to give you one sentence, it would be to keep illegal guns off the street. Lots of luck, guys.
All right, I'm going to throw a curve at you. I got to ask you another question here because I'm looking at your website, and GOA gets out a lot of good information about what's going on in Congress. And one of the things that I see there, and I'd just like for you to touch on, is a lot of our folks, the gun folks, say, well, we're against the Democrats, we're for the Republicans. And I keep saying, guys, either one of them will stab you in the back in a heartbeat. And you probably do the best job of anybody of documenting that.
The Republican leadership is so completely feckless. The only thing they have done well is to enable the Democrat agenda of President Obama. But any of the things that you and I would like to see on a Second Amendment agenda be moved, not on your life. Well, somebody will object. The president will just veto it. Really? When they wanted to get rid of the ban on guns in national parks, they put the measure as an amendment to a spending bill that was viewed as must pass. We got rid of the ban. Absolutely can be done.
If there's a will, there's a way. But right now we're not seeing any will.
No will at all. The Republicans ought to be causing great rejoicing at whatever handgun control is called now. This is a matter of real concern that the Republicans have shown us what they'll do when they have control of the Congress. Pretty disappointing. The only thing I can see them doing well is if there were a Republican president, Senator Cruz, Governor Walker, somebody that has a backbone, then I can see the Republicans passing things because they'd be following their leader.
Exactly. So as a long-term observer of all of this, is there any good news out there?
I think that if the Republican leadership could be urged enough by grassroots to move on a bill to make concealed carry a national measure. So if you have a concealed carry bill, a permit in one state, it'd be like your driver's license, and you could take it anywhere, same as your driver's license. That could pass as a spending amendment. And we probably ought to focus on the Republican leadership and the Republican caucus to in turn focus on pressure the Republican leadership to do something on that measure. The votes are there to get it through the Congress, and I'm pretty sure that if that were on the Health and Human Services budget, the president would very likely sign it.
All right. In the presidential election, we're looking at better than a dozen Republicans running right now. So, I mean, we know that we've got everybody from Chris Christie, who's just a Democrat,
right,
with an R next to his name, all the way across to Ted Cruz and Rand Paul. And I'm starting to like Scott Walker, I got to tell you. Is it possible for gun rights to become an issue in this that we can use to weed out some of these folks?
frankly, I think of the three that you mentioned, they're all good on guns, and it would be to their advantage to articulate a platform that includes what they would like to see done with firearms. It would help them get votes. It happens that it is a very good issue with the Republican base, but it also appeals to those so-called Reagan Democrats. Basically, those are Republicans that don't want to call themselves Republicans because they're so ticked off with the Republican Party. And you could bring them back on issues such as firearms. That's what I see those three guys able to do, because they're not afraid of the issue. They've articulated well and acted well on the issue.
Well, I appreciate that, Larry. Now, obviously, Gun Owners of America, how long has GOA been in existence?
We're approaching our fourth decade.
Wow. And the website is gunowners.org. You can get information, and I encourage people to sign up for your newsletter because you're always sending out good information.
Yeah, those alerts that you can get for free are where the action takes place. That's where you get an embedded email. You can send it to your member of Congress. And that's how we get things done in Congress. They get enough of those, and they realize, got to do something.
It's like that old line in politics, when they feel the heat, they see the light. Larry, thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you at the next meeting. Don't go far. Gun Talk will be right back.
The XDM 3.8 Compact from Springfield Armory is 2 guns in 1. Use as your concealed carry gun with a compact magazine and use the extended magazine for home defense. Carry 13 rounds of 9mm in the compact magazine and a whopping 19 rounds in the extended magazine. To see the entire family of Springfield Armory XDM pistols, go to SpringfieldArmory.com. That's SpringfieldArmory.com. In today's climate, you always need to be ready. Nothing will make you a more accurate or confident shooter than Crimson Trace laser sighting systems. Get the immediate, decisive advantage of the world's only grip-integrated laser sights. Shoot better. Stay safer. Call 800-442-2406 or visit crimsontrace.com for a free copy of our new laser training video, The Laser's Edge.
In the fight for gun rights, we need ammunition, intellectual ammunition. And no one does it better than researcher John Lott, author of More Guns, Less Crime. John created the Crime Prevention Research Center to counter the junk studies being done to push gun control. But he doesn't have the big bucks of billionaires like Michael Bloomberg. All he has is us. So I'm asking for your help. Go to crimeresearch.org and donate what you can. This research makes all the difference. People ask what they could do to help preserve the Second Amendment. Honestly, this is one of the best moves you can make. If you can give a lot, that's great, but even the cost of a box of ammo helps. We need John Lott's intellectual ammunition. Go to crimeresearch.org. It's time to step up. crimeresearch.org.
The Black Hills. There's nothing like it on Earth. The kind of place where characters become legends. Wild Bill Hickok, Crazy Horse, Calamity Jane. Pick any part of the world and you'll find people go there to make it their own. But this is where people come to get made. This is the place that made the people who make the best ammo on Earth. Black Hills Ammunition.
All right, back with the 866 Talk Gun gets you in here. I'm Tom Gresham. You can shoot me an email, tom@guntalk.com. You can also join us over on Twitter. I'm at Gun Talk over there. And, of course, we have a huge Facebook page. Just look for Gun Talk Media over there. I see it coming out of Florida. Now, you'll notice that I talk about these court cases a lot. And I have mentioned before that I think more and more I've become convinced that presidential elections are really all about judges and justices, federal judges, and, of course, Supreme Court justices. This one happens to be the Florida State Supreme Court. And, of course, you know they have the stand your ground law there. Well, the Florida Supreme Court has just turned the stand your ground law on its head. because what it ruled was you are no longer innocent until proven guilty. If you plan to invoke the stand your ground defense, then you are guilty until proven innocent. That is, the burden is on you to prove that stand your ground applies, not on the state to prove that. And one of the dissenting comments from one of the judges there said, let's see, by imposing the burden of proof on the defendant at the pretrial evidentiary hearing, the majority substantially curtails the benefit of the immunity from trial conferred by the legislature under the Stand Your Ground law. In other words, this is not what the legislature intended. Judges, justices, that ultimately is what these elections are really about, especially when you have people who have lifetime appointments to the bench. So just food for thought. All right, let's see. Line 5. Bert has called in, wants to talk about his outfit. Bert, I'm glad you called in. Tell everybody about Fast Brass, what it is.
Okay, Tom, I want to thank you for having me on the air. Fast Brass is a brass processing machine. It does all the steps, takes all the hand maneuvers out of the hand processing. My machine cuts the length, deburrs inside, outside, uniforms a primer pocket, chamfers a primer pocket, uniforms a flash hole from the inside. It does all handgun calibers, all rifle calibers, including the 50 caliber BMG. It's one machine, all self-contained, uses off-the-rack components, cutting components, process out 100, 150 rounds of brass, precision on the book number every time in under 30 minutes.
How in the world did you get started on this? Why would you get started on making a machine that processes brass like this?
Well, I'm kind of picky and like everything right, 100%. That, and one winter when I first started reloading 2 years ago, I processed 6,000 rounds of 223 brass in my basement.
That'll make you look for a faster way to do it.
Well, it's kind of hard after the first 1,000, kind of hard to do the rest of them when you have a wrist brace on. So I hooked all these components up to the drills just like everybody on YouTube did, and I'm thinking, boy, there's got to be an easier way. So I started thinking. February 15th of 2014 was the birth and conception of the machine. It's taken me, I had my first production run of 7 machines finished in March.
Now, is this a machine that a hand loader would use, or is this primarily for somebody who has like a small loading company? Who would use this?
Precision loaders that need the fast, accurate, precision brass, precision shooters, somebody goes through a lot of ammo, on the case length trimming, that's a one-step or one-time process. Rifle brass, after 5 or 6 loadings, you need to check your length, your cut length, because brass will stretch, for work stress and harden. So pop it in your Wilson gauge and you run her back through the machine. And second time around, on brass, it's already been case length cut and primer pocket uniformed. There's still attachments you need to clean, the brace the flash holes and the primer pocket and brace the necks. Takes all the handwork out of it.
I love it. A guy who says, okay, there's got to be a better way, comes up with a machine, invents this thing, not just invents it, but starts producing it. I'm looking at your website. It's fastbrass.us. You've got a YouTube video there that shows how it works. Just so people understand what we're talking about here, what's the price on one of these monsters?
Well, I'm doing an introductory offer to the market right now. When you build a machine, come up with an idea, I can produce these, you try to keep the cost low. I need to get some machines out on the market, so I've really knocked the prices down. Right now on the website, I have 6 machines at $2,020. Those machines do not do the 50 caliber BMG, so I will not be producing those any longer. I've got those whittled down real good on price. They'll have to call, or email me off my website. And then the Fast Brass Master Plus 50, I've got that whittled down from the prices. It's on the website.
Okay, so we got some good prices on these.
I'm just about like giving these boys away. I need to get them out. I need feedback on them. I've been to 3 gun shows. I went to the Oklahoma OFAS shoot in Wyandotte, Oklahoma last June. Mm-hmm. People were raving about them, loved them. They was running brass through it, and of course, one guy says, "Boy, I'd really want one of these," and he had 6 kids with him. I says, "Well, do you bring all your kids?" He says, "No, 3 more at home." And his 10-year-old popped up and says, "Dad, I got $650 in the bank you can have." And,
well, you know what it is? That kid doesn't want to be doing all the brass prep himself. He's probably doing right now.
That's probably it, yeah, because the guy said he's got all of his kids into shooting and reloading, so yeah. Kid found the easy way out.
Well, this is exciting stuff, Bert. I'm excited for you. It's the American way. It's all made in America. It's called Fast Brass, and check out the website, fastbrass.us, and you can see this thing work. I got the video right there. You'll go, holy cow, that's very cool. So I appreciate that. Good luck with it. I hope it works out very well for you. All right. We're talking about, we're bouncing around, but this horrible murder in Chattanooga, Tennessee, 5 people dead. There's a takeaway for us. You try to find, okay, is there a silver lining? Is there something good out of this horrible, terrible thing? Maybe, if you're willing, if you are open to it, maybe the takeaway is yes. And I love it. The media says, wow, it even happens in the heartland. Dude, it happens everywhere. So maybe if there's a good thing, a way for you to get some good out of this, it's to say, okay, our family, we're going to take responsibility for our own safety and security. We're going to do what we can, understanding there's no guarantees, okay? No guarantees. Stuff happens. But if you have a plan, and you train, and you have the tools, guns, ammo, magazines, and you think about it, and you talk about it, and you know what each of you is going to do, there's a really increased chance, at least, that you can get out of these things without getting hurt, and maybe you can stop it. Maybe you can save some people.
Covering all aspects of gun ownership every week on this fine radio station. You're listening to Gun Talk with Tom Gresham.
All right, welcome back to Gun Talk. If you'd like to join us, just give us a shout, 866-TALK-GUN, or just dial 1-TOM-TALK-GUN. Of course, email works, tom@guntalk.com. Is there a gun owner out there who hasn't at one point thought, boy, maybe I ought to have like a false wall in the back of a closet, or wouldn't it be cool to have a hidden room? Well, there are people who can do that for you. One of them right now joins us, Scott Morgan's with Creative Building Resources. Hey, Scott, how are you?
I'm doing great, Tom. How are you?
Well, I am wonderful. I appreciate you joining me. Now, where are you located?
I'm located in Boise, Idaho.
Okay, in Boise. All right. So I'm looking at the website here, Creative Building Resources, and you got like the coolest collection of pictures and stuff. What is it that you do?
Well, thank you very much, Tom. I custom build doors, whether they be hidden or just for extra storage space, and I ship them all over the United States and Canada. A lot of our designs come from the customer themselves, and pretty much open to anything as long as it's feasible.
So you're doing doors, but your doors in many cases look like a bookshelf, a built-in bookshelf, or something else, so that it's a hidden door.
Correct. Yes, some of them are very hidden, and I wish I had pictures of all the doors that I've built, but a lot of customers didn't want them on my website for understandable reasons.
Yep, exactly. Now, question, do you have any sense for what most people have these kind of doors in rooms for? Are they for guns mostly? Are they safe rooms? What are they doing with them?
I would say about 25% are for safe rooms, and probably another 35% are for guns. Some people are just looking for extra storage space, so pantry doors or, that little spot underneath the staircase.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people have that, you couldn't fit a full-size door there, and it's wasted space if you don't use it. So we build little short doors for there, too.
Oh, okay. So you build regular doors as well as the secret type doors.
I wouldn't call them regular. They're more of a bookshelf type door.
Okay. So they still they're camouflaged.
Yes. And
so what's the secret here? Is the secret just to make them not look like a door?
I can't tell you the complete secret, Tom, but yeah, you want to, if somebody's in your house wanting to take stuff, such as guns or valuables, you just want to make it look like it fits in to the area and conceals it.
Okay, so what kind of locking system do you have on these?
I go for anywhere from a custom-made slide latch that you can operate from either side of the door, which isn't very secure. If somebody feels around, they might be able to find it. We do keyed locks, and the ones that I really like doing are the 750 or 1,200-pound commercial electromagnetic locks that come with a remote control, like a little key fob for your car.
Right.
I've done them that when you tip a book back, it activates a micro switch, which releases the magnet, and gone as far as biometric thumbprint scanners or RFID cards, you name it.
Wow. Okay. So how does it work? Does somebody, they have a room, they take a picture of it? I mean, because your door has to fit in with whatever is on the wall so that you can't see where the door is.
Oh, definitely. And there's been a lot of cases where I've built a whole wall of bookcases that look exactly alike, but there's one of them that's a door. But yes, a picture is great. Normally do a lot of consultations since most of the doors I build do get shipped out of Idaho. We don't want to ship something across the United States or into a different country that doesn't fit or work for you.
Right. Well, I tell you, I'm looking at the pictures, these things that look like bookcases, they just look like bookcases. There would be, when you walked into a room, you would have no idea that it's a door and there's anything behind it.
That's correct. And the added bonus is you can use it for storage, for knickknacks, for books, whatever you want.
Oh, yeah, you fill it up and put the books on it, the whole deal, and it's still a functioning door. So the website is hiddenpassages.com, right?
That's correct, Tom.
Okay, so hiddenpassages.com. Give Scott a holler. Take a look at the website if you're interested in such a thing. And I can understand how you could get orders from all over. This is, for somebody who is very security conscious, and I think more and more people are, I think it's a brilliant idea. It's one thing to fortify something, but if they don't even know it's back there, then you don't have to worry quite so much about fortifying it.
That's correct. If they have no idea it's there, it's a lot less likely for them to try and get in there if they had the time.
Yep. No, that's exactly it. If they don't know it's there, then they're not going to be breaking into it. And so there you go. I love the idea. It looks to me as if you're doing really nice quality custom level work. So congratulations on that. I appreciate you spending some time with us, Scott. And you take care. Yeah, the website is hiddenpassages.com. When you see the pictures there, you're going to see what I'm talking about. They are very cool. They got options, specs, photos, the whole deal, everything you need to see there. All right, open lines for you right now, 866-TALK-GUN. What's on your mind? A gun you're thinking about buying? Or you one that you want to tell me about? 866-TALK-GUN.
Crossbreed Holsters is broadening our product selection to serve more of your concealed carry needs. With products handmade in the USA, like the bedside backup, gun belts, and of course our world-famous Super Tuck and Mini Tuck holsters, we understand what works, and we take pride in providing you with a quality product. At Crossbreed Holsters, we live and breathe concealed carry. We make and sell products that we believe in and products that our customers love. To see more, go to crossbreedholsters.com. That's crossbreedholsters.com.
Be sure to watch NRA Freedom Friday from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. with Freedom Fighters, American Air Gunner, ATSN Stop the Threat, Gun Talk TV, Championship Season, Guns and Gear TV. Watch NRA's Freedom Friday only on the Pursuit Channel, where we deliver the outdoors.
For 36 years, the U.S. Sportsmen's Alliance has been fighting to protect hunting, fishing, and trapping for sportsmen from coast to coast. Today, we are under constant attack from extremist animal rights groups who want to end your ability to hunt in the U.S. Join us to protect our sporting heritage and our way of life outdoors. To join or for more information on how you can help, go to ussportsman.org. That's ussportsman.org.
Are you looking for a place to shoot? The National Shooting Sports Foundation has a great website called wheretoshoot.org. It's the largest database of shooting ranges on the internet. It's also a great resource for shooters where you can find video tips, printable targets, and a lot more. Find it online at wheretoshoot.org. And while you're there, download their free iPhone app. That's wheretoshoot.org.
All right, we are back with you. 866-TALK-GUN gets you in here. Pretty easy. If you have a gun you want to tell me about, one you're thinking about buying, or what I'd really like, if you have any kind of report on a trainer that you have gone to. I am finding there are more and more good trainers around the country, so much so that, 10, 15, 20 years ago, we would say, well, there's Gun Sight and Thunder Ranch and SIG Academy and, Tiger McKee with Shoot Right. Now there are good trainers everywhere. So if you have a trainer you'd like to give a shout out to, by all means, give us a holler. 866-TALK-GUN. Line 3, Vance is with us out of Reno, Nevada. Vance, what you been shooting?
Well, what I've been shooting, I went out to the range yesterday at Palomino Valley and took my Mini 14, and I've done some modifications to this thing.
Yeah?
It's got the accuracy systems, adjustable gas block with barrel stabilizer integrated into it. Mm-hmm. I've got a muzzle brake on it, and it's in an ATI polymer stock. Also has the accuracy systems M1 style rear sight. And
okay, now let me just let people know. Generally, the Ruger Mini 14 is a great rifle, but frankly, it's never been known as a really super accurate gun. So, how's your shoot?
Well, you're not going to believe this, and I'm not exactly Davy Crockett or Daniel Boone. But
okay.
At 100 yards, after figuring out where the bullets went, at 100 yards, if you take and draw a quarter-inch circle, that's your center, and then put circles around it, touching the inner circle, the central circle, that's where the bullets were going with this thing. I'm real happy with it.
That's a 3/4-inch group. So basically, you got 3 1/4-inch circles. So you're talking about a 3/4-inch group. That's terrific out of that Mini 14.
And I love it. And before I did these mods, at least with the stabilizer and the gas block, it was typical Mini 14. Okay?
Yeah, I mean, so fun to shoot and all of that.
Trade it.
I'll be darned. All right, you also had you got some help for me on a correction on a caller we had earlier. So this is a California deal. What was that?
Okay. I'm a San Diegan. I'm still keeping track of what's going on. That's still my hometown. But the caller in the first hour, I think, mixed up the Stockton schoolyard shooting with the McDonald's shooting down in San Ysidro.
Yes.
Okay. Patrick Purdy was the one that killed those children, murdered those children down in Stockton. And then a guy by the name of Huberty, I can't remember his first name. Huberty is the murderer that the SWAT team waited 45 minutes to take out down in San Ysidro. That McDonald's had subsequently... There. Yeah, it was McDonald's in San Ysidro, south side of this. It's a town separate from San Diego, but it's at the south side between Chula Vista and the border.
Okay.
So a little correction to that. And also the caller about Jerusalem, that incident took place about 3 or 4 weeks earlier than the San Ysidro shooting. And it was pistol-packing Israelis that took out two of the three, it wasn't four, it's two of the three Palestinian terrorists. And the guy that survived, he hit the deck just in time to keep from getting shot, and he had to be rescued by the police from a pissed-off mob.
From the citizens who were defending themselves against these terrorists. Exactly right. Vance, look, I got to run. I got people lined up here, but I appreciate the help and great range report on your Mini 14. By the way, we've got news on a new Ruger rifle. I thought they were going to release it tomorrow, but they sent the release out on it. It's a Ruger Precision Rifle. Wait till you see this thing. I've never seen anything like this from Ruger. It's crazy looking. Line 2, Dimitri is with us out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Dimitri, welcome.
How you doing, sir?
I am good. How can I help you?
Yes, sir. I've never shot a gun before. I want to purchase a handgun, and I wanted to know what might be good for a first timer.
Okay. Here's the thing. What's good for me is not good for you. So it's difficult for me to say what would be a good gun for you. What would be better, frankly, and you're lucky. Are you in the Baton Rouge area?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you've got some pretty good instructors and some gun ranges there. There's a Precision Firearms is in Baton Rouge. We have done a lot of shooting there for our TV shows, and they have instructors there, and they have rental guns. What I would recommend is that you go over to Precision Firearms or Precision Shooting in Baton Rouge and say, I want to get with an instructor for an hour and try 2 or 3 different guns because I don't know anything about guns. I want to just get started and try some guns before you buy a gun because, I may like a big gun, you may like a little gun. I may like one that kicks a lot, you may like one that kicks not very much. I don't know if you're talking about having one for the home, in the car, or you're thinking about getting a permit so you can carry a gun. What's going on? Are you looking for a self-defense gun?
Is it good to get it concealed?
I think getting a concealed carry permit is a good idea as long, and this is the big thing, okay, as long as you will make a commitment to making sure that you're safe, that you don't just take the class, but you actually say, okay, I'm going to continue to study and read about guns and shooting and self-defense and just being safe and responsible. Yes, I think you learn a lot in the concealed carry class, especially about the laws, when you can and when you can't pull out a gun, when you can and when you can't shoot, and then what happens if you do have to pull out your gun from the legal standpoint. So, again, in Baton Rouge, go check out Precision. Those guys can help you out. It's a good team there. We've worked with them on a lot of different things, and I appreciate your call, and be safe out there. Something more. What did I just see? Oh, yeah, concealed carry permits for women up 270%. I think that was over about a 5-year period. Like I said, I think we've got about almost 13 million carry permits in the country. 5% of the adult population now has a carry permit. Something's going on. Oh, yeah, with all those new guns and new people carrying guns, gun crime is down almost by 50%. Ha! All right, back with you. Let's go straight to the phones. Ann's on line 4 out of Lake Charles, Louisiana. Hello, Ann. You're on Gun Talk.
Hi, Tom. Hope you're having a great day.
You bet.
Okay. I'm sure that a lot of people have guns in their home, and I don't blame them one bit. And like I said, in another state, I carried and transported prisoners and stuff. And I still know for a fact that it is a situation, no matter how many sometimes, training you get. It's one thing, like I said, to have a gun, and it's something totally different in the chemistry of your brain to pull the trigger.
I couldn't agree more. Absolutely true. If you're not strange, if you're not defective, there should be something in you that makes you not want to shoot somebody or to pull a trigger on somebody. You should be incredibly reluctant to do that. And so, yes, it should be hard to do that. Let me ask you, with your experience of transporting prisoners, I'm guessing you probably got a sense of a lot of these folks will hurt you. They don't have a problem hurting people. No, they don't. And in another, like I said, I never did it here in Louisiana. I did it in another state for years. But you cannot go into any law enforcement area like that, because I was also an officer of the court too. And without the acknowledgement of your life is more important with your family than anything else, because if something happens to you, your family is at a terrible loss. So you have to have like I said, the chemistry in your brain to know that if someone comes at you, you're definitely going to make it the last time. That's a great point, Ann. Two things you said all together there that were terrific. One is that you need to have made this decision beforehand. You cannot analyze it and figure it out and make the decision that time. You have to decide it sometime before, 10 days before, 10 years before. If this happens, then yes, I will shoot. If this happens, then yes, I will. I'll try not to, but if this happens, you got to make the decision. And the other thing is that people say, well, I would shoot to protect my family, but I'm not sure I would shoot to protect myself. And I always say, but you don't understand. If you get killed, if they kill you, then your family suffers horribly for years and for decades because you were selfish enough to not protect yourself. Absolutely. Because being number one where your life is concerned, I always carried a .357 mag, but you must understand that weapon, no matter if it's .357 or a Beretta or whatever, you have to understand that weapon is just as dangerous with you as it is with anyone else. Well, you know what? My deal is people say, well, guns are dangerous. So yes, they are. And the gun that I'm holding, yes, it's supposed to be dangerous. That's what makes it effective. And if somebody wants to hurt me or my family, my gun's going to be really dangerous to them. But yeah, this is all part of the whole training thing we talk about all the time. And thank you so much for the call. Delighted to hear from you. Hope that you keep listening to Gun Talk. Boy, you got some interesting experience and background there. Yeah, the point here is that when you're protecting yourself, you're protecting your family. The horrendous grief and loss that they would suffer if you said, well, I'm just not going to take care of myself. I'm not going to protect myself. I'm not going to do that. What you're saying is, I'm unwilling to spare my family from this horror of me getting killed. So it's selfish to say, I'm not going to take care of myself. I won't protect myself. If you would protect them, then you have to protect yourself. When we come back, I want to talk with a Marine, the head of the Harvard gunfighting schools, about shootings in Chattanooga, and also what's he seeing out there in terms of the threat that each of us may be facing. You want to hear this.